Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Patanjali Yoga Darshan speaks about the spiritual practice, and the practice which is most misunderstood is the asana. Normally by the asana, the whole world understands twisting the body and not straightening the mind. Therefore, you will see the whole world, everywhere there are yoga studios, and all their time is spent only how much more you can twist your body and prove that you are a rubber doll. That is the struggle. But if you study the original text of Patanjali, there the asana is told sthira sukham asanam, steady bliss. We have to be steadily blissful and blissfully steady. That is the meaning of asana. It has nothing to do with your posture. But most of us have this notion, if I can sit in one posture for 1 hour, 2 hours, I am a great yogi. Then all our buffaloes in India will be greatest yogis. They sit right on the main road. Even if the truck comes, they don't get disturbed. And we people sit for half an hour, 10 minutes. If a mosquito comes, we get disturbed. That is not the meaning of asana. Asana is you remain undisturbed under all conditions. You are at peace. Ashantasya kutas sukham. A person who is not at peace with himself or herself cannot be at peace with the world. So that is the meaning of asana. It is not a posture, but it is the experience. Sthira sukham. One is at peace all the time. Now the question is it only theoretical or is it practical also? If it is practical, what is the practice? There Patanjali gives the technique, and the technique is Prayatna Shaithilya, and the second technique is Ananta Samapattibhyam. These are the two techniques. First technique is Attainment of Effortlessness. Now here is the main topic. We are all struggling in life, and the struggle makes us miserable. Don't struggle. Relax. For anything. In Delhi, when the red light comes on the signals, it is not only red light. There it is written, relax. Because people in India, when they see the red light, like the bull, they charge. Therefore, government has to write there that red light means stop, don't charge. We also have to learn to relax in life. See, friends. Now, what is the reason we are so tense all the time? See? It is only because of many reasons. One of the reasons is we want to prove something to somebody. And we don't know what we want to prove and to whom. Now, there are some of you who are professional listeners to my YouTube talks. So it may be a repeated thing for you, but the principle we have to understand. Once I was traveling from Mumbai to Heathrow, London, and about 9 hours flight. And after going there, then I had to go to some church for delivering a lecture on Gita, the message of Gita. And the distance was about 3 hours. So when we are going, my friend, she is the German lady, she was driving. I said, Mama, you have taken a wrong exit. Swamiji, I am here for 35 years. I know. I said that doesn't prevent you from making mistakes. Mistakes can be done by anybody. Even God has done mistake creating you and me. What about us? So she continued. After about half an hour she said, Swamiji, you are right. I have taken a wrong exit. I said, now follow Indian technique. Go the wrong way. One wrong can be corrected by another wrong. That is an Indian philosophy. He said, no, we can't do it here. I said, then suffer silently. So we went another 40 miles, took a U-turn and came and reached that church 1 hour late. And I expected all people must have gone. Britishers are very punctual, and at least they pretend to be. So they were all waiting. I said, my God, they are still hanging around. So I had a talk for about 1.5 hours. After that, we had tea, coffee, socializing. Then I had the dinner in my hostess place. And after that, I was watching one documentary on Tibet. Very beautiful documentary. So when I was doing that, that lady who was driving me said, Swamiji, go and sleep. I said, look here, I am not your baby. Don't dictate me. I'll do whatever I want, okay? No, not that way. You must be tired. I said, that's not your business. You do your job, you go and sleep. No, I want to ask you a question. This is another problem for me. Whenever people look at me, they remember questions. Maybe I am a questionable personality. So, she said, so many hours you have been continuously running, traveling. How come you are not tired? I kept quiet. She said, I want to be like you. Can I be like you? I said, you can never be like me. Why? No beard. The rule is, longer the beard, more is the wisdom. Shorter the beard, doubtful is the wisdom. No beard, no wisdom. Swamiji, please don't make fun of me. I said, there is no need. You are already funny. Then I told her, your whole life is a struggle, prayatna, efforts. You are putting efforts for two things. One thing, you want to prove something to somebody. And you don't know what you want to prove and to whom and who cares for you. See, my friends, be yourself. It is easier to be than to become. And all those who become, they are miserable. Being is happiness. Becoming is misery. See? A child is born. He is free, independent, intelligent, educated, paid very well salary, no problem. Because being, he is. Then one day, one virus enters his head. What a life without a wife. Once that virus attacks his intellect, he becomes intellectual. Intelligent people are never miserable. Intellectuals justify how they are miserable. Intelligently. So, he gets married and he becomes husband. Now be attentive. He is man, he became husband. He is man, he became son. He is man, he became father. And who is miserable? It is the son who is miserable. It is the husband who is miserable. It is the father who is miserable. These are becomings. And man is being. In being, there are no efforts. In becoming, nothing but efforts. We are all struggling in our life only because we have forgotten what is our being. See, you just observe within yourself. Whenever we are disturbed, at the root of every disturbance, there is somebody sitting. And that somebody is mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife. They are all disturbed. And find out, where are they? These non-existing entities, they are disturbed, they are miserable. See, friends, and how these people are born? They are born because they want to prove something to somebody. Friends, stop this struggle to prove anything to anybody. The spiritual life is not becoming extraordinary. Spiritual life is drop that extra and be ordinary. When you are ordinary, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. I'll tell you one example. I went to somebody's place, a Marwadi family in India, and that elderly gentleman asked me this question. Swamiji, I understand you travel around the world. I said, yes. Then what about your food? I said, I eat food. No, when you travel by a flight and so you eat food outside? I said, yes, I eat the food outside also. In hotels also I eat. But Mahatmas don't eat outside. How come you eat? I said, it is your fault. What is my fault? I said, why do you call me Mahatma? You call me Mahatma and you are suffering. I don't call myself Mahatma. I am a Chota Atma. There is no need that I had to prove something to somebody. And second thing I told him, I said, look here, I like to take food only outside. You have your house. Therefore you can say, my home food. But I have no house. For me, every food is outside food. It may be your home, but for me it is outside. But we spend our life in this struggle to prove something to somebody. And because of that we suffer. So to come out of this mess, to attain freedom from the efforts, Bhagavad Gita tells a very simple technique. And that shloka you all know. The shloka is Karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhuhu ma te sangaha astu akarmani. In this principle of freedom from efforts is attained. See. Now how it is simple? First of all, do we have a choice to live yesterday or to live tomorrow? We have no choice. We have to live now and today. See how simple it is. You put efforts and you don't put efforts. What two experiments will conduct? First experiment. 279 days before, in the morning at 9:15, what you were doing? 275 days before, that means how many months effort started? See, you are putting efforts. Then future. After 168 days, what you will eat? I don't know, I can't imagine even. See? So whenever you go away from the present, either in the past or in the future, efforts will begin. And therefore, first technique of getting freedom from the efforts is try to remain in the utter present. To remain in the present, you have no problem. See, my friends, unnecessarily we worry. Like many people ask this question, Swamiji, I don't know what is going to happen to this world. I said, if you don't know, relax. If you know, be prepared. See, learn to remain in the present. The more you remain in the present, lesser will be the efforts involved in your life. See? But another thing I enjoy in my life is when you happen to meet an old couple, it's a great fun for me. I'll tell you how it is. I am putting the efforts to prove how the efforts are terrible. This happened somewhere in Shimla. And I went to somebody's house for dinner and all that. So my friend told Swamiji, these are my in-laws. They stay here only. We have come here to stay with them. So by the time the things are prepared, they will like to talk to you. So I was offered as a bait to that old couple. And now I am a choiceless existence. I have to be there. So I sat there. And then that person asked me, Swamiji, when did you come to this place? Did you come earlier? I said, no, this is my first time. Now topic is over. We came here in 1922 when I got married. Old man started. Immediately that Amma started. 1922. You might have married someone else, not me. No, honey, it is not 1922, it is 1932. No, 1922. Now they are fighting on 22 or 32. How does it matter for me, even if you are not married? The moment you go in the past, you are bound to put efforts. One of the simplest spiritual practices, don't talk of your past. Don't ask anybody about their past. See, this experiment I conducted once. I was going by train somewhere, and one elderly person came, politician type, huge struggle. And he said, oh, I am very happy you are here. Now, next 18 hours we will have a good time. I said, my God, now he is going to eat my head completely. So to protect myself, I always carry one rosary, mala in my hand. Like a terrorist carries a gun, I carry that. And I told, look here, whenever I travel, I do the japa, so I will not talk. Please excuse me. And you may tell me about you. If you want to make any old person happy, ask them about their past and don't listen. They want somebody to be there. That's it. Keep on talking about the past. He started. So many things went on and on and on and on. And in between, when I used to see that his spirit is going down, I will immediately, really? Then what happened? Again his spirit is revived. And this is how it continued. Finally he said, my children told, Daddy, here in Bombay it is very humid. Go to Delhi, you will be okay, you have got asthma. Therefore they put me in this train and I saw you. Then I asked them, then what happened? Be attentive. When you come in the utter present, you have nothing to talk. What efforts are required? We don't understand one basic principle of life. Nobody is interested in our past, particularly youngsters. They are all concerned about their future. But oldies like me, what future I have got? No future. Only past only. That is how the struggle is only because we refuse to remain in the present. Try this. And for this, Bhagavan says in Gita, Karmanye vadhikaraste means what? Principle number 1. We have no choice but to act. Nahi kaschit kshanomaphi jatu tishtati akarmakrut. In the 3rd chapter, Bhagavan says, nobody can ever stay without getting engaged in kinds of activities. Then, we cannot stay without doing something. We cannot but remain only in the present. Therefore, all activities of our life, they are done in the present. Now be attentive. Whenever we do something, for what we do the things? All of us do everything for getting happiness. See, observe this. You get married, for what? Don't answer. Then you get separated, for what? Don't answer. Then again you get married, for what? Don't answer. See, everything that we do or not do in our life is only for seeking happiness. Person like me keeps on eating whole day for getting happiness and suffer. And other people, they will not take food at all, observing fast. That is also for happiness. They also suffer. So they think all the time about food, and I eat all the time the food. Both of us are struggling to get happiness. In short, pravritti, involvement, nivritti, withdrawal, are aimed at getting happiness. Be very attentive. When I want to get happiness out of my action, unknowingly what I am doing, I am postponing my happiness in the future period of time. See? And the future never comes. So we keep on struggling throughout life. See, friends, then what is the way out? The way out is very simple. Don't do anything in your life to get happiness. Then whatever you are supposed to do it happily. Life becomes very simple. See? And what we do, we have got three functions or three instruments. One is the body, second is the speech, third is the mind. By the body, whatever we do it happily. When you walk cheerfully and happily. Not walking like, a buffalo, looking here, looking there, and going and dashing something, taking the mobile phone in the hands. I received one WhatsApp. That girl is walking on the road with the mobile and showing the face, and somebody comes and dashes her. See how much we get lost. Only the non-essentials. So whatever we do it happily. If you are cooking, cook happily. If you cook with the miserable mode, oh God, in this house, I have to prepare roti all the time. I don't know why did I get married to this Punjabi fellow. These people don't know idli dosha and I am fed up of making roti. In that house, everybody will have constipation. Because the food is not prepared happily. See, friends, anything that you have to do, remember this principle. There are three options about doing anything. Number one, do it happily. Number two, if you don't want to do, reject it totally. I won't do it. Over. But what we do, like the air hostesses, when we enter the aeroplane, the air hostesses, they receive with a smile. Welcome, welcome, with a big smile. And when the plane takes over, you start asking them, then they start biting their teeth. Oh God, this fellow is eating my head. So, surface level, there is acceptance. Inside, there is a revolt. Net result, acidity. This is what happens in life. So, these two options, either do it to express happiness or reject it totally. I won't do it, never mind. But we follow the third option. Surface level we say, okay, I'll do it, and inside you suffer. I don't know, everything comes to me only. Why me? One lady asked me this question. Swamiji, you know my life, all the problems come to me. Tell me, why me? I said, why not? You are the most suitable person to get all miseries in life. See? Therefore, the first technique is, whatever you do by your body, it is done only for expressing happiness. You walk, you do anything cheerfully, happily. Get yourself fully involved in that and see the joy of it. Second thing, we use our speech for talking to somebody. We can talk more than talking. In Manusmriti it comes. We must know what not to talk and when not to talk, then what to talk. See, many times we don't know whether it is the right time to talk, whether it is the right place to talk. Any time we keep on bombarding, that is not the way. If you study Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana or Tulsi's Ramayana, there it is mentioned again and again. Whenever Bhagwan Ramachandra started his journey, he started happily. Whenever he spoke to somebody, he spoke happily. Lakshmanji, whenever he has to talk to his brother, he never talked any time. He found that it is the right time to ask a question, then he spoke. These are the common sense things, friends. And when we don't understand this thing, and if somebody doesn't talk to us, "Oh, I don't know why everybody rejects me," you are worth that only. See, friends, live in alertness, awareness. That is important. See? The second thing, you must have seen people, many of us, we hardly talk. We bark. You know the barking? Like, the child is supposed standing there. Then you say, "Hey, why are you standing?" Then he sits down. "Why are you sitting?" Let the child be himself or herself. Constantly bullying that child instead of talking lovingly, "Wow, wow, wow, wow." No need. Let the children be by themselves. See? Relax. Speech. And then third thing, the most important, when you think happily. Don't think in a frustrated mode. "Oh God, why did you create this world?" And our thinking determines the quality of our life. How we have trained ourselves to think. One example I'll give you. This training of thinking is very important. In Rishikesh, on the banks of Ganges, I was just walking comfortably and stood in one place, and on the step there was one child. He was constantly crying, like that. And I was just watching Ganges and the child. I had nothing to do with anybody in this world. I was just watching. And there were 3 ladies. So they saw me, they say, "Maharajji, why this child is crying?" If you are a Swami, doesn't mean you can answer every question. I said, "You think why he must be crying?" The 3 ladies were trained to think in 3 different ways. One lady was a mother. All Indian mothers know only one expression of love: feed the child up to the nose level. And therefore, he may be hungry and therefore he is crying. Mothers cannot think beyond hunger. Then the second lady, she was a doctor by profession. Doctors cannot think health. They can think only disease. So, the second lady said, "He may be having abdominal colic." I said, "Enough, stop." The third one was a social worker. You know who is a social worker? He or she who is utter failure in their personal life, and therefore to take revenge on the society, they become social worker. And they open the NGOs. This is how the social workers are. So their social workers started. In our country, there are millions of children. I say, "Stop your lecture. Enough of it." Then they say, "Swamiji, you tell now why the child must be crying." I said, "Look here, I don't waste my time and energy and no efforts. We have the child in front of us. Let us ask him." This is a good idea. So I asked the child. I said, "Hey, why are you crying?" "Nothing. Time pass." See how you have trained yourself to think. Think happily. You can never be misunderstanding anybody in life. A person who is all the time miserable, angry, disgusted, frustrated, he will always think the negative way. See, my friends. Therefore, when the teacher says karmanye vadikaraste, it simply means that you have no choice but to act. But how to act, that technique is given. This shloka has its origin in Ishavasya Upanishad. In Ishavasya Upanishad, there is a second mantra where the teacher says, "Kurvanneveha karmani jiji visheshatagam sama." Keep yourself busy and occupied so that you can live 100 years. This is the normal translation you will see everywhere. I don't subscribe to that translation. My understanding is different. What the Upanishad wants to tell us is, whenever you do something, pour yourself 100%. Live every moment 100%. Don't live fractions. See? How we live fractions. Now we are sitting here. I am talking to you 100%. Then only I can talk. You are listening to me. I don't know. This is just an example. Are you listening to me 100%? I have been talking for last 30 minutes according to my watch. Have you heard me all the 30 minutes? Even this is not heard. The mind has already gone somewhere. This is the simple message. Whatever you do, do it 100%, not in fractions. Friends, 100% presence is God realization. 100% presence is pure love. 100% presence is devotion to the Lord. You must have seen this. There was one sweet little girl, and her mother was, this hi-fi brand. So she was reading some useless English novel, James Hadley Chase. So all the crime and all that. Now this small little girl, she wanted to talk to her mom. Mom, I want to ask you, don't you see mommy reading? After some time, again that small child came. Mommy, please, no, not now, later. Third time the child could not hold herself. She came, put her beautiful, cute little hands around the face of the mother, turned her face to herself, look into my eyes and listen. Meaning, she wants 100% attention. Remaining 100% all the time is pure love. How simple it is. And in that love we don't fall. In that pure love we rise. You all know, love can be used both as a verb and as a noun. A boy and a girl, they fall in love and they get hurt. Then hurt is called as a marriage. The mother does not fall in love with the child. The mother has love for the child. Therefore, the mother rises in the love. She doesn't fall in love. See, friends. So this purity, 100% presence is possible only under one condition. When you are doing everything just to express your inherent happiness. Whenever you are happy, you are in the present. Whenever you are happy, you don't think. Those who think, they cannot laugh. Those who laugh, they don't think. Try to think and laugh. You cannot. See, take one simple example. In Delhi, one boy on a motorcycle, he crossed the red light. And the other side, police was standing. The police stopped him. And he scolded him. Didn't you see the red light? You crossed the red light? So the boy said, Sir, I have seen the red light, but I didn't see you. And therefore I crossed. Now this fraction of moment, if you understood the joke, and if you are heard, and if you laugh, that time you were neither a man nor a woman, neither rich nor poor, neither mother nor father, neither in Australia nor in India. That time you just were. Being is effortless. The moment you become somebody, efforts begin. See, my friends, karmanye vadikaraste. Now, if you are happily doing everything in your life, you will never ask this question, what will I get? You will get nothing. Understand this spiritual principle. If we have this notion that if I take the Lord's name, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, what will I get? You will get nothing. I guarantee you. Nothing you will get. The Lord's name comes on our tongue. That is the highest gain in life. What more you want out of it? But we have that notion, if I do this thing, what will I get? And therefore, we are suffering in our life. Therefore, don't do anything to get happiness in life. The search for happiness is the most miserable search in life. Don't search for happiness. Express happiness. And once you try this, practice this again and again. I was in China before coming here. And I told those about 150 Chinese, very sweet people. So I said, today I am going to give you a mantra and you have to repeat after me. And the mantra was, I'll ask you a question, how are you? And you have to reply whatever I tell you. That is the only reply, no other reply. Then I told them, put your hand, right hand on your heart. So all of them put, very sincerely. And then I said, now repeat after me. And this answer should be repeated. Question I will ask, you have to give this answer. If you want, you can take that mantra, it will change your life. Put your right hand on your left heart. On your heart, not somebody else's heart. I ask you a question, how are you? And you have to say, I am on the top of the world. But that word should carry the meaning. It's not, how are you? I am on the top of the world. Not that way. The word should carry the meaning. So let us repeat it 3 times and see the change in you. How are you? Say, man, I am on the top of the world. I am on the top of the world. No life in Parthians. See, in the Perth alone, the Partha was there. Parth is the devotee of Bhagavan Krishna. If you are the devotee, say boldly that you are happy. Don't be like the Britishers. You ask a Britisher, hey, how are you? Not bad. They are afraid of saying that they are happy. How are you? I am on the top of the world. Repeat. I am on the top of the world. Little loudly, let Bhagavan listen. How are you? I am on the top of the world. Now there is some life. We are not here to seek happiness, express happiness. See? Ma phaleshu kadachana. Then you will not bother what will happen after this thing happens. Many of us do everything for getting something. Bhagavan says, kripanaha phala hetavaha. Those who are doing the things for getting something in return, they are laborers. They are not the masters. Be the master of your life. See, my friends, ma phaleshu kadachana, because the results come always in future period of time. Like now, I am talking to you. Now, if I imagine that after my talk is over, then you will say, oh Swamiji, your talk was awful or awesome. And then I will become happy. So what I am doing? I am postponing my happiness till the lecture is over. And you will not say that. And then I will be miserable. So while giving the lecture I am miserable and afterwards I am miserable. What is the use of that? On the contrary, now I am happily delivering my lecture. Whether you enjoy or suffer, it is your problem. I am happy. Try this. And this can happen only under one condition. You don't have to prove anything to anybody in this world. Be yourself. Ma phaleshu kadachan. Then ma karma phala hetur bhuhu. The third principle. Karma phala hetu means what? Do not become the cause of creating karma. Now for that we have to understand karma. Karma is what? Karma is action plus doership is equal to karma. Like your legal papers. When your agreement plus authentication is equal to deed. If you have got the agreement printout and if it is not authenticated by your signature, then it is not a legal deed. The deed can happen only if you own by signature. Then I accept all these clauses. Exactly the same way. Action plus the sense of doership is karma. And therefore, if you want to get out of this karma, what is required is drop this sense of doership. And it is so simple. See? Now I'll give one example about this. One day I was taking food somewhere, and 3-4 ladies were standing and watching me how I eat. I have become no professional. I don't care what others see. So watching how I eat. And I took everything in chapati, and my attention was not at the food, at their face. Their attention was on my food. So when I took it near my mouth, their mouths opened. So that Amma, whose mouth opened maximum like a crocodile, I called her. I said, Mama, come here. So she came. And I gave her that food. I said, you eat first, because before I eat, I give it to Lord Krishna. Today you are my Krishna. I gave it to her. She ate, everything was over. Afterwards she came, Swamiji, now what will happen? I said, what happened? Today is Ekadashi and you have given me rice to eat. Now what will happen? I said, nothing. You go directly to hell. Ekadashi, you have eaten food. Friends, be attentive. When I have taken food, sin and merit. When the food goes inside, do we have this sense that I am digesting the food? No sense that I am digesting the food, and therefore, when there is a constipation, it is not a merit. When there is a dysentery, it is not a sin, because there I is not involved. So where are the efforts? Wherever there is I, there are efforts. Wherever there are efforts, there is tiredness. Wherever there is tiredness, there is frustration. Wherever there is frustration, there is no joy. See, those who are hard of hearing, they have to put a lot of efforts to listen. And after a few minutes, they get tired. And after they get tired, then they slowly go to sleep. And after they get up from the sleep and the lecture, they are the first one to comment, Swamiji, your talk was awesome because it put me to sleep. Why? Others were not sleeping because they did not put efforts. Therefore, if we get tired in our life, understand this I factor, like you have got a max factor, no? This I factor is a terrible factor. Remove this. I am doing something. Friends, even a simple thing like when the sneeze comes, we cannot stop it. See? There was a man going somewhere. Suddenly on the road side, he stopped and looking at the sky. So huge crowd came around him. They were also looking, what is that, what is that? Everybody was trying to see. And this man was so steadily looking. And finally, a very big crowd came, he gave a sneeze and went away. And they were just watching, what is that? Nothing there. We have no control even on simple things like a sneeze. What can we control in life? If we want to control only two things. Our sense organs and our mind. The moment these are under control, effortlessness becomes so easy. No tension, no worries, because we don't have to prove anything. See, friends, this is a simple rule. The moment you feel you are tired, I factor was very prominent. One example I'll give you about yoga only. Suppose I am a yoga teacher and you have done something wrong. So I'll give you punishment. What will be punishment? By yoga teacher, do Anulom Vilom Pranayam for 21,000 times. Oh God, my nose will break into pieces. Okay, do it 2100 times. No sir, it's not possible. Okay, do it 21 times. After 5-6 times, then I stop you. Okay, enough. Do you know how many times we breathe per day? We breathe 15 times per minute. It comes to 200 and 1600 times per day. Has anybody ever said that I am tired of breathing? Because in breathing, I is not involved. And therefore, it is effortless. The moment you have got asthma, then the efforts come. And then you are tired, frustrated. Therefore, if we march from the efforts to the effortlessness, how do we know our GPS is correct? The first simple symptom will be, you will not be agitated, you will not be disturbed, you will be at peace. See, the other day I went to somebody's house for food. I finished my food and came home. After coming home, that lady called me, Swamiji, I am so sorry, why didn't you tell me? I said, what happened? No, in that dal, it was only salt. In the vegetable, it was only spices. And how did you eat? When I am eating, it is impossible to eat. I said, I made a cocktail of it, mixed together and ate, finish it off. But why this happened to me? I said, because you are excited. See. 3 areas create efforts. Area number 1, remembering the past regrets. See, don't bring the past in the present. All that is gone for good. About the past, we can do only one thing. Select, shift, delete. You cannot undo the past. Drop it. And to drop this past, the technique I told you, don't bring your past in the present. When I was here, when I was there, nobody is interested. Remain in the present. Then what to talk? Talk about the weather, talk about the trees, talk about the plants, talk about government. These are all illusions. Talk about illusions. You don't get the sin and merit. See, thus, the more you start remaining in the present, you will be less effortful and relax all the time. The second thing, we get disturbed, put lot of efforts because of the imaginary problems of the future which have never come. See, one day I was going somewhere through immigration and I had some friend with me. And through immigration, where we were going, there was one particular passenger. He had exchange of words with the immigration officer. Immediately the security was called. He was bundled up and he was taken away. He was shouting and all kinds of things were happening. The whole queue, everybody was tense. Oh God, now what is going to happen? What is going to happen? And my friend who was with me, he said, Swamiji, pray to the Lord that we don't go to that officer only, otherwise he will take some revenge on us. And I said, no, why do you worry? Relax. If he says something, I'll reply what is required. And he was so tense and he was holding my wrist so hard that the blood circulation stopped. I said, leave it, don't kill me. And when we, and God's Leela, we were directed to that man only. So he was holding my hand, Swamiji, I said, keep cool, keep cool. I gave my passport. Without even asking a single question, he took it, take it and go ahead. I said, where are your worries? Friends, worries are efforts to solve the non-existing problems. We only imagine a problem and we only try to solve it. If you have to imagine, why don't you imagine everything is beautiful? It's only imagination. This habit, either dragging the past in the present or trying to solve the non-existing problems of the future, is the cause we become too much effortful. Give up these efforts. Now we are in the present. Now in the present what happens? Present there is excitement. Remain cool, no excitement. Many times we over-prepare. in one house I went, the boy came from the examination, he went to his room, banged the door. So mother said, "Hey, what happened?" And he started crying. What happened? "Mom, I don't know. I knew everything before the examination. Now also I know everything. But what happened in the examination, I don't know. There was a complete blackout." Now what is that knowledge when it is not available, when it is needed? In the same manner, the moment we become excited, comparison, all our knowledge, our satsanga has gone to dogs. Remain cool, remain relaxed, remain cheerful. There are no efforts involved in that. Ma phaleshu kadachana, ma karma phala heturubhuhu. Don't create that sense of doership. I do this, I do this, I do this. No. Things happen. And that doesn't mean lead a lazy life. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna says, Mate sangha astu akarmani. Do not remain without occupation even for one moment in your life. Be attentive. One of the technique, today when we went somewhere, I don't know what place we went, very nice place, and I saw there one board, anti-aging clinic. They don't want to become old. I'll tell you a simple technique if you want to stop becoming old. Learn something or the other all the time. Learn something. When we learn, the child in us is not dead. What are the signs of an old man? Oh, what will I do now? So people are happy. Come on, he is going to die. But he doesn't die also. Frustrating. Learn something or the other. Whatever you may learn, doesn't matter. Learn Chinese, learn gardening, learn bonsai, anything you can. That will keep the child in you alive. And second thing, that will keep your time fully occupied. Friends, people never suffer in life because of shortage of time. People suffer in life because of excess of time. Now what to do? What to do? What to do? Another 20 hours I had to leave. Another 14 hours I had to leave. See, when you go in a long flight, 18 hours, 20 hours flight, 16 hours flight, initially it is okay. Afterwards, every 10 minutes, you say, oh God, another 2 hours, and what to do 2 hours. Neither you can read anything, nor nothing. Therefore, see that we are not having any free time even for a moment. And for that, one of the best things our scriptures have, there are so many Puranas, so many scriptures, take up something to learn. Learn something. And when the process of learning is initiated, you will see you will be always cheerful and happy. Then you are involved in that. See? This is the way to remain effortless and yet busy in life. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. So from the efforts to effortlessness is the choice given to us. Put your efforts so that you are preoccupied. I'll tell you an example. Once I went from Australia only to Mumbai, and I had hardly 20 hours time in Mumbai. I had to take another flight to go to US. So my friend who comes to receive me, it was raining very heavily. He told me, Swamiji, you don't have anything. You don't have any ashram, you don't have anything. Why are you struggling and running all around? I said, okay, I stop. From today onward, I'll stay in your house 24/7. He said, no, not like that, not like that. See, you have prayers for Lord's Son. Bhurbhusvahata saviturvarenya. You have prayers for the earth. Samudra vasane devi parvatastana mandale. Your prayers for the waters. Your prayers for the fire. Agnene Supatarai. Your prayers for the air. You have no prayers for the space. Because it is always available. We never seek the truth. Because it is always available. The moment you become aware of the space, thereafter start playing space. Then you will come to know space is effortless and supports everything. In the second chapter, Bhagavan says, Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chainam kledayantyapaha, na shosheti marutaha. Space is not influenced by the remaining four elements. Exactly. Effortlessness means we are supporting everything. Waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi. But we are not influenced by anything. That ability to remain untouched in this world, although we are getting involved fully, that ability is called as effortlessness. And every one of us can do it, can achieve it. We can, we should, we must. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.